Is that focused? Like, I feel like it's just not focused. Let's try to get through this before I get too scared. Anyways, hi everyone, welcome back, or welcome. Today is gonna be a fun little moment. I'm going to be talking about the show Love, Victor, and I just want to talk about it, just because I haven't really seen anybody do this yet, and I feel like it could be a fun time. So if you see me looking either over here, like in my lap, I wrote an entire page out, my bullet journal, just so that I really talk about everything that I thought about the show. So let's get right into it. I'm going to be talking about the main, like the really main characters, and then some like plot points that I liked and didn't like, or like fun little things that happened that I liked, or like things that happened that I didn't like or thought should go differently. I feel like this background is really not doing it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna work on it. I promise. That's fine for now. Anyways, let's get into it. Basically, Love, Victor is a show that is taking place after Love, Simon, and Nick Robinson, who plays Simon, is the producer of the show, and he also makes a cameo in it. And he's talking to Victor throughout the whole show, helping him out along the freaking way. My camera died. If I look a little bit worse than last time you saw me, that's why. Let's get started with characters. First is Victor Salazar. He's the main character. The show is based around him, and I love him. He is great. I wrote down some things that I liked or disliked about characters, so that's why I'm looking over here. Just letting you know. Liked his, I don't want to like be like that and be like his character development, but I did like the way that his character was developed throughout the show. I don't know, I liked following him throughout the show. He was like interesting to follow, at least like for me. I just like enjoyed seeing what was happening in his life. In the scene where he goes on the work trip with Benji, the espresso machine, I liked that he got the call that was like, hey, the freaking machine's ready. He like called that off and he was like, oh, Benji, we're gonna have to stay the night in that motel. I enjoyed that. I thought that was fun. I didn't like that he was like ditching Mia after he knew that she really wanted him there, but I did like that he stayed with Benji. I like that he really like values his family a lot, because in shows sometimes really don't see a lot about like a family, and there's a lot of his family in it, which I love. So I like that he was like a really good big brother to his siblings, and he's just a nice person, just a good person. So yeah, that's really all for Victor. Love him. I'm giving him a 9 out of 10 because I really enjoy him. I think he's like an interesting character, but I wish that they went more into like him being like curious, or like figuring out exactly like if he was gay or not. I wish they went a little bit more into him like actually figuring that out, but I thought it was still good. Anyways, Next we're gonna talk about Felix Weston. Now, I love Felix a lot. Felix is my favorite character. Did not want him to be my favorite character. People on Twitter, and everybody loves Felix. Just, you know, another person who's like, oh my god, I love Felix. But like, here I am. I loved that he was just so energetic and so happy all the time. I hated that everybody was mean to him, because for some reason everybody's always mean to the character that's like that. No matter who it is, they're always getting bullied. It's like, he's just happy all the time, he's fun, he's energetic, he's spontaneous, and everybody's so mean to him. Like, for what? He's literally so cute. Why are you... Anyways, I loved how like accepting he was. I mean, like, obviously like he was gonna like be homophobic, But like when Victor did come out to him, I liked that he was just like, that's great, I'm so happy for you. That he was like, nothing, this doesn't change anything, just like so you know. I loved that that was a little moment. I love that he cried. I don't know, I loved that scene where Victor came out to him and he was just like, oh yeah, that's great, good for you. Let's go party, find you a boy. So yeah, I loved that. But I didn't like how obsessed with Lake, I didn't like how obsessed he was with Lake. But I did like that he always liked her and like continued to like her and like was always trying to like pursue her and like talk to her. I thought that was cute. I wish he was bi. This is a pretty big thing with his character apparently. Everybody on Twitter really wants him to be bi. I think that would have made him the most powerful. I think that would have just made it too good. I wish he was bi because that would be really great. And also everybody else wants him to be bi. So maybe if they have a second season, they can do that for us. That's basically it for Felix. I think he just deserved better classmates. He deserved better love interests. He deserves better blank, you name it, and it's true. Felix, 10 out of 10, obviously. Mia Brooks, love her. Love her. I liked her storyline with Veronica, her dad's girlfriend that he gets. I like that it's like that they actually like established that kind of issue. I liked that Mia was kind of like upset. Okay, I didn't like that she was like upset about it. I just liked that storyline with Veronica, just like kind of coming to like terms of like what exactly is happening with her dad and how her dad was always away and now suddenly he has a new girlfriend and now Veronica's pregnant, so now he has a whole new baby coming and Mia just feels like it's taking away from her relationship with her dad. I just liked that I liked that storyline there. I didn't like that in the end she was mad at Victor. Well, okay, we're not exactly sure how she exactly felt. Like, obviously she was upset, but it's another thing where it's like, I don't like when characters get mad at the main character for not like coming out or like not being ready to like come out. I hate things like that. I hated that in Love, Simon too, where he was outed, he had to come out, and his friends immediately ditched him. Leah was mad at him because she like was in love with him and he wasn't in love with her, so she was mad at him for that. So I hated that. I hated that Mia was like, I don't know, they didn't really show her much at the end. It was like the last like 10 minutes where it was like he was coming out. I didn't really like her whole thing with Andrew. Like, she seemed pretty angry. And it's like, I get that she's upset because she walked outside during her dance, whatever it was, and saw her boyfriend kissing. I don't like that whole idea of like characters being mad that someone like didn't come out. I didn't like how she reacted whenever Felix was around. She wanted to have Victor over alone. He showed up with Felix because he was not ready. Felix comes in and she immediately is just like, Felix is literally the best. Why are you upset about it? Like how annoyed everybody got as soon as they saw Felix walk into a room. The last thing with Mia is that I didn't really like how she sort of made Victor feel pressured into, you know, it was just kind of weird how she was like, suddenly, I'm gonna have him over tonight, nobody's gonna be home, it's gonna be great. And then her and Lake were texting him during school about things, and I thought that was weird. I didn't like how pressured he like felt. I didn't like how pressured she made him feel, and he was so nervous, and that's why he ended up bringing Felix. That's it for Mia. I love her though. I hope if they have a season 2, they go more into Mia's story and how she's doing. I also like in the end how Mia, when she came home after the prom, and she was like upset. I like how she like walked in and saw Veronica and like ran to her and cried in her arms after saying that she didn't want to come home and talk about things with her. I thought that was a cute little moment. Anyways, that's it for Mia. I give Mia an 8 out of 10. Love her. That's all, just period. Next we have Lake Merriweather. Lake was I didn't exactly know how I felt about Lake till I completely finished. I like her. She's not like my favorite, but I do like her. I didn't like how obsessed with her status she was, that she was just so mean to Felix. Once again, this is just my love for Felix overruling everything, but I didn't like that she was embarrassed to be seen talking to him, to be seen making out with him. I just didn't like that because he was so nice, and I get that she was like struggling with, you know, how her mom is ridiculous, and with, you know, how obsessed she was, and she ran Creek Secrets, and she's the person who is making random kids popular by posting about them. And I feel like, I don't know, she could have just done something so that she didn't have to make Felix feel that bad. I didn't like how she tried to seem like she wore red to the stoplight party and pretended to like be dating her cousin. I thought that was very weird. I did not like that at all. I get what she was trying to do, but I just didn't like how she tried to make herself seem like she was always with a boy and always talking to boys and everybody was obsessed with her. I don't know. I didn't really like that very much, but you do you, girl. I didn't like how she was using Felix for her benefit. I didn't like how she was kind of just using him to make out with him in the closet in school, or in school when they had detention. I didn't like how she was using him for that, and then completely acting like she didn't know who he was. She used Felix, and I didn't like it very much. Yeah, and she like hid him. Hid, like H-I-D. She like hid him away. She told Mia that he was like hooking up with Andrew, and that's why she had a hickey on her neck. And then Felix heard about it, and he was like, the last thing for Lake that I wrote here. She's just a little bit annoying. When we first got introduced to her, I just didn't like her. I thought I was gonna hate her. She seemed like she was just really annoying. But now in the end, I do like her. For Lake, I'm giving her a 7 out of 10. 7.5. 7.5 out of 10 for Lake. So we have Benji. I love Benji. Liked when they went on their trip. The only thing was, it was like he was sort of not leading Victor on, but kind of leading Victor on. Kind of being flirty after they were in the coffee shop alone, and they were talking about music and dancing around after he sings Call Me Maybe at their little show they have, and is just staring at Victor the whole time, and then goes and kisses his boyfriend. So I didn't like how he was trying to do something with Victor. I don't know what exactly he was trying to do with that, but I just didn't like that, because it was like, why is he doing that? I don't know. I just thought it was like him giving like the wrong kind of impression, even though I don't know what he was trying to do, because his boyfriend was literally there. He was just singing Call Me Maybe and staring at Victor, and then Victor's just like excited 1 second, and then immediately is just like confused and like angry because he just sang this song directly to him and sent him some signals up in his noggin that just did not correlate. I didn't like that after Victor kissed him, he completely ditched him. He wouldn't talk about it on the way home, and then afterwards he moved to a different location for work and didn't talk to Victor, told Victor he didn't want to see him at all, told him that they should stay apart when they see each other in school, that he didn't want to talk to him or see him at all, ever, to try and, I guess, save his relationship. I thought it would have been better if they, like, maybe talked about it. I think it would have been better if Benji talked about, you know, like the kiss, and then kind of help Victor out, at least like maybe on the car ride back or when they got back to the coffee shop. I feel like that would have been a good little plot line in there, a good little point in there. I thought that would have made it a little bit more interesting, because like Benji was out and he obviously went through the same thing that Victor is going through, so I feel like he could have really helped him. Even though Simon was like talking to him, I just thought it would have been like nice to see Benji like helping him out, kind of, because it was just like a 1 second of like I want to kiss you, and then he kissed him, and then Benji was like, oh my god, I have to leave and never speak to you ever again. Guys, I get that he was trying to not cheat on his boyfriend, but he still could have helped Victor out. I just hated how he just immediately ditched Victor and wouldn't talk to him. That's really all for Benji. I liked that Benji and Victor, obviously I liked that they were together in the end. A little confusing, and he like, because like at the prom he broke up with his boyfriend and then immediately just like went and found Victor. But I do like them. They're cute. So that's all for Benji. I give him an 8 out of 10. Last character I have here, which is Andrew Spencer. I'm not really sure what to say about him. I wrote down here, ugh, just like UGH with a period after it. I think that pretty much explains it. I don't like him. I just have a pet peeve of characters who are like bullies, but then they're like nice to the girl they like. He's mean to Felix. He made up the Lone Stone joke and rumor about him and pretended to give Victor relationship advice with Mia just to try and give her a different impression and to try and take her from Victor. So I didn't like that. And he was just annoying. I don't know, I just didn't like him. Whenever he was on screen, I was annoyed. That's it. Andrew is just, I just didn't like him. I just did not like him. Okay, that's it for all the characters. Oh, Andrew, I give a 5 out of 10. Nothing else I need to say about it. I'm quickly gonna go over the ships. Victor and Benji, love them, 10 out of 10. Felix and Lake, I do like them. I just wish that Felix like knew that he deserved someone who wouldn't hide him away in janitor's closets. But it's okay, I like them together in the end. Mia and Andrew, I'm not exactly sure if they're a couple, but they are like a ship. Don't really like them together. Mia knows that he's not really a nice person. She was very clear that she didn't like him when he was at her house for that like auction thing that her dad was doing. She made very clear she wasn't interested and that she doesn't like him, and she knows that he's not a good person, like a nice person. So I just didn't really like them together that much. Mia and Victor, I liked because like, just a good kind of start to how Victor was like, wait, do I like her? Do I just want to be her friend? Am I attracted to her? I just thought they were pretty good. That's all I have to say about that. I think that's pretty much it for the ships. Benji and Derek. Derek is his name. Benji and Derek. I didn't really like them together only because Derek seemed like, I don't know. I hated how Benji made this whole thing for their 1-year anniversary, and then Derek just kind of ruined it by saying that he didn't believe in anniversaries. Like, I don't know. I didn't like how he made Benji very upset after he threw him this entire thing and he decorated the coffee shop so nicely and made him a wonderful dinner, and then just got walked out on because he wanted to go see whatever his friend's band perform. I just thought that was kind of crappy. So I didn't really like them. I just didn't like Benji and Derek because Benji could do better, and then he does do better in the end. That's it for the ships. Some plot points that I like. Let's go through these quick. I like when Victor went to New York. I like that he just got on a train and just went right to New York. I wish that Simon talked to him more. Like, he had his little scene and they were like DMing throughout the whole show, but I wish that Simon talked to him more. Like, I wish there was like a full 10 minutes or like even like just like a long, like a nice long scene of them talking about how he figured out he was gay and like being curious and all that stuff. I just wish there was like another scene with Simon that they just like talk more. Did like Lake and Felix. Like that Lake was like, I know I like him, but then I hated how she was embarrassed to be seen with him. I liked Victor standing up to his grandpa and saying, Grandpa, they're gay, you're gonna have to deal with it. Sorry you're homophobic, but like, this teenage boy's sexuality is not affecting you in any way, so shut up. That was really great. It was a really great moment. I love when that happens in anything. Like the party in episode 2, like the stoplight party, I thought that was just a fun scene where Felix was drunk. I loved when Felix was like drunk in Mia's bathroom in her room and he was like, I'm cold, and then Victor took off the green jacket that Andrew gave him to wear and he took off the jacket and he was wearing a yellow shirt underneath. I loved that scene. And then Mia was like, wait a minute. I really loved that. Now some points that I didn't like. Oh yeah, okay. I wrote Victor and Simon's talk. They should have talked more in person. I didn't like everyone being mean to Felix. I already went over this. I'm gonna stand by it forever. I hated everyone being so mean to him. I wish they showed Victor, like, more of him coming to his, like his realization that he was gay, and like, I just wish they showed more of like his process of like all of the figuring out that he had to do with that. I just wish they showed more of that. I also didn't like when Victor said that Simon had great friends, because if you've watched Love, Simon, you know he did not have very great friends. They were accepting, they weren't homophobic, which like okay, good for you, but they ditched him when he really just needed a friend, and they were mean to him. They were mad at him that he didn't come out earlier to them because he wasn't ready. It was just, his friends were just horrible to him, and Leah was mad at him, made him feel horrible for being gay. It was just, I just hated it. I hated that Victor was just like, screw you for having wonderful friends, because that's not true. That's all. Now for this finale, just some of my overall thoughts about the show, and then whether or not I think it's a good show and if you should watch it, and if I want there to be a season 2. I liked the show. I thought it was kind of cringy at some points. I thought it was cute. Everybody was worried, at least everybody on Stan Twitter was worried that it was gonna like ruin Love, Simon, because Love, Simon is just like a perfect movie. And I love it so much, and I didn't want this like spin-off show to like just like ruin Love, Simon for me, and it didn't. I liked it. I loved the, obviously, like the storyline surrounding a character who's trying to figure out their sexuality, or like dealing with their personal whatever they're doing. Just like an LGBTQ plus story. I just think that there should be more of that in TV, especially children's TV, because children need to grow up. They need to learn that homophobia is not okay. They need to learn that boys kissing boys and girls kissing girls is perfectly fine and normal, and it doesn't affect their life in any sort of way, so they shouldn't even worry about it. I just think we need to see more of that in TV, movies, everything. I do hope that there's a season 2. I'm not so sure yet. I think there might be, because they did leave it with, I loved the ending though. How the last 2 words in the show are, I'm gay. That's just like a really great, I loved it. I don't know, I just really loved it. Cause you know, it was like, I'm gay. And then he like breathes out like an exhale, where it kind of goes back to that and it connects it all, and it's like you can breathe now. It's like, oh, I just loved it. Hi, I'm ending this video, and I just wanted to put in a quick explanation for this little moment here when I said how it connects the ending of Love, Victor to A Part in Love, Simon with the whole like exhaling thing. It's because in Love, Simon, after he comes out to his mom and dad, he has a talk with his mom the next day, I think, and she's like just talking to him, and then she says the words, "You get to exhale now, Simon," and that became a very popular quote from the movie, and they like connected it with Love, Victor, how the last thing he does is like he finally is out and he can finally exhale, and how Simon's mom tells him he has been like holding his breath for so long, and now he's out and he can finally exhale. That's the explanation. I'm sorry for being confusing. That's all. And I really liked the show. My overall rating for the show is an 8.5 out of 10. Only because I would like to see some things changed. and like see more or less of some things, but I thought it was a cute show, and I'm rewatching it right now. I'm already on like episode 5. But yeah, I really liked it, and I hope this maybe inspires you to go watch it, even though you have spoilers now. And if you did watch it, let me know if you agree or disagree with anything I said. Please don't cancel me, please don't drag me, because I am fragile. That's all. I hope you enjoyed this little moment. If you like videos like this, where I'm talking about my opinions on shows or movies or whatever, let me know, and then I'll do more of that. See you whenever I decide to make another video. Bye. I really like that show. Okay.